Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles and cousins, of course, and abuelas or abuelos, and nanas and papas, and baseball fans everywhere. Welcome to this edition of the Valley Baseball League's 2020 Rewind season. For those of you who are counting, it is day 29 of the Valley Baseball League's Rewind season. These games are played on July 1st. In case you're keeping track on your calendar and want to make sure we're not cheating you. Yeah, I know we skipped over June 30th. There were lots of baseball that happened, but there's only so many games you can fit in. I mean, we had to pick out of 250 games. Do you know how hard that is? Anyway, it's a lot of work. Fingers were bleeding. Pencils were worn down to nubs. I think we went through 2 or 3 scratch pads and a whole stack of paper. And then lots of stats. I mean, John put together 85,000 words for us. So if you're not, haven't gotten his 2019 annual, that's John Leonard and the 2019 Valley League annual, you're really missing something. There's some great stuff in there. Stats breakdowns. He's got this great thing called Power something. I can't remember what it's called. Aaron, help me out. What's his power thing called again?
Yeah, he
Power
has
ranking.
a power
The
ranking.
power ranking. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's that great thing called power ranking. They might do that in hockey, but if they do, I don't really know about it. Hey, everybody say hi to the crew. We got Aaron and Jordan here. This is where they say hi. They're feeling kind of shy today. I mean, you know, after 29 of these rewind seasons, you would think you get like more extroverted, but no, doing these rewind things makes you more introverted. Is that true or not true?
It's not true. I was just waiting for you to like tee one of us up and say, Aaron, go first, or Jordan, go first. We were both just being polite.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Well, as you know, it's the hockey player who screwed up again. So if you're not here to do a little hockey bashing, you are definitely in the wrong place. Anyway, that said, we had some great baseball back on July 1st. We're kind of, you know, for those of you who are keeping track, we were fast approaching the All-Star game, and not far behind that's the showcase. We're kind of getting close to about halfway through the season. Many of the teams are at played 22 to 24 games by this point last year out of a 42-game regular season. Jordan, what's our game of the night?
I still haven't been queued in yet. Am I allowed to talk quite yet? I'm not. I'm confused right now.
Hey man, if your mic's open, you just got to run for it, right? You just grab your mic and run, and then when you're done with the mic, that's when you drop it. You know what I mean? Do you want to practice run?
No, I think I got this one here.
Got it? All right.
As you said, we've done this how many times by now? So I'll put the introvert side of me out to the side. But I'm really glad, Graham, that you actually brought up, and Aaron, you too, John Leonard's power rankings, because you're coming right up to the All-Star game, Graham, as you said. This is where the power rankings and team play really come into focus. And tonight we got the Waynesboro Generals, who personally I'm really excited to see, because I can't remember the last time that we got them in a primetime rewind game. But they take on the Harrisonburg Turks, who, despite the record, don't overlook the Harrisonburg Turks due to their record. They're pitching this season. They've had some great pitching performances, and a lot of low-scoring games have come out of Eagle Field or have come out of a Turks game where they're on the road, and that pitching staff does a great job tonight. They keep the second highest-ranked team from John Leonard in the Valley Baseball League, team with the second best overall record tonight in Waynesboro. They hold them only 4 runs in the first 6 innings. And this is a Waynesboro team who, very much like Charlottesville and Stanton, they can light the bats up and they can ignite rallies and get a good double-digit victory themselves. They're number 2 in the league for a reason, Graham. But again, this is the Valley Baseball League. So one thing, or many things, that we've become used to seeing this year, we've become used to big offensive performances and key plays. And once again, we might have 1 or 2 of those tonight again.
Yeah, we live for those key plays, don't we, Aaron?
We do, and I'll go ahead and drop some names that you can look out for. It is Jack Murphy and Jackson Tate. They combine for an explosive inning that sends this one into a deciding win for Waynesboro. It was an awesome game. They really have done a lot this season for their team, and they kind of pulled through again tonight.
Yeah, we love name droppers in this thing. You know, for everybody, we are definitely the name droppers because we're here to celebrate the players, the great players from last season, the great plays, as well as the great games. So I really appreciate the name dropping. You're going to hear some more name dropping as we go on. Aaron, you had a couple more games that took place on this day. These were played back on July 1st, back in 2019. What else happened, and what other names can you drop for us?
I have a few, if I can pronounce all of them correctly. But first up, I have Woodstock and Charlottesville. The Bandits scored 5 runs in the 5th inning and hung on to defeat the Tom Sox 10-5, which is pretty impressive. We've seen Tom Sox have really good bats, so good win for Woodstock there. Both teams are now in second place of their respective divisions. It was pretty important at this point in the season, and it was Lael Lockhart that really stood out to me in this one because he just did it all. The first baseman out of Houston went 2 of 4, one being a double. He was hit by a pitch. He scored 3 runs, drove 1 in, and he stole a base. Really impressive performance by Lockhart to help Woodstock get the win there. Just really all around great job by him, attacking the bases and definitely attacking things at the plate as well. Strasburg and Newmarket, another game. This one actually went into extra innings. It was Strasburg's Hunter Blaylock who hit a 3-run home run in the 5th to tie this game, and then eventually sent it into extras as nobody could score another run until the 10th inning. In the 10th inning, it was Brett Hawkins who doubled with 2 outs, and then Zach Scott singled him home. Of course, a name we've heard before is Sonny DiChiero. He knocked Scott in for another insurance run to give them the 5-3 win. So only 2 players had more than 1 hit for the Express in this game. So it really was just a few big moments that got them the win. The first being Hunter Blaylock's 3-run home run. He's the outfielder out of Mississippi State. He's batting .273 this season, and that was his 2nd home run. So right now, the Express are 17-6 on the season, and Newmarket falls to 11-15.
Yeah, Newmarket certainly is struggling a little bit to make that 500 mark. You know what kind of stands out to me is the Woodstock-Charlottesville game. You had those 2 teams battling it out. They're both in second place for their division. And the other thing that really stands out to me is the Express with a 17-6 record at that point in the season. I mean, just an incredibly strong team. The Neils, who we did a profile on not too long ago, if you haven't seen it, highly encourage you to go back. That would be rewind back through several of our podcasts to the Neil family. 2 generations there, father and 2 sons making that happen. I know that Jay would be mad at me if I didn't give a shout out to the other 65 volunteers who help out, including his wife, who keeps those guys straight. So we all know who's in charge of the team and who takes credit for it. But it's a family. The Neil family really does a great job with them, and so do those 65 volunteers. And it shows on the box score and in the standings. Jordan, how about you? A couple other games that took place back on this day in 2019.
Yeah, Graham, I got 2 more, of course, as always. And you know what? We got a good Winchester Royal win. It's been a while since I've been able to say that Winchester has royally won a baseball game, but they did tonight 7-1, getting the final over the Pearlsville Cannons. It's like Battle of the Puns right now with my dialogue. But right now with Winchester, it's kind of hard to lose a baseball game. I think John would agree with me on this. When you have both his pitcher of the day and his hitter of the day, I want to get in on this name dropping thing, so I'm going to do so. But yeah, in this game, Logan Walters and Drenis Azuna really came in and put in some key performances for this game for Winchester for the green and gold. If you look at Logan Walters with his 7 2/3 innings pitched, he's only going to give up 2 hits, and he's going to strike out 10 Pearlsville Cannons in this ball game before Drenis Azuna, just to kind of put that cherry on top for the ball game. He's going to come in, get a late home run to really get the Winchester Royals back into gear. Hopefully this kicks into something a little more long-term as what Pearlsville had going for them, but that win streak they had, it ends tonight. Once again, final score 7-1, Winchester knocking off Pearlsville. Second game that I had, we have another team kind of floundering, only 1 run on the night as well, and that's between the Covington Lumberjacks and the Front Royal Cardinals. And Front Royal is really struggling this season. They've fallen to 7-19 on the year, while Covington coming in is going to lead this game 13-11, getting 5 very solid innings from Michael Rotenberry. And then 4 shutout innings are going to come in from his reliever, and that is Austin Kunde. And this, again, really, I don't want to come on in and get down on Front Royal, but this has not been their season, Graham. And overall right now, that record is, Aaron was just talking about some teams that have really been picking it up this season. There might still be time yet, for Front Royal to come in and turn this thing around, especially after Shane Scott's amazing performance just a couple of days ago. But right now, it's looking pretty bleak for the Cardinals. They fall 8-1, getting chopped down by Covington.
Yeah, the Cardinals struggled a little bit last year. And, just of note, I got to do a little name dropping myself, and then I'll come back to the Cardinals in a second. I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy Goldsmith. In the not too distant future, he's going to get hurt and will have to leave the league, which is really sad. But at this point, he was of note on July 1st. He went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. I do want to come back to your cannons roaring. As near as I can tell, that this Winchester game against Percival put an end to their 5-game winning streak, which is a little sad. But as I said, I love celebrating the Cannons when they do well, but I also love celebrating the Royals when they do well. So with that said, any other name dropping we want to do before we wrap this up?
I don't have any name dropping right now, but as far as the Percival Cannons go, a 5-game winning streak, especially with the way the season started, always fantastic to have that. And it looks really good. It's a big team morale builder. But listen, if you fall down like that, it's just a reason to pick yourself back up and go at it again. Maybe get 10 next time, getting that double-digit win streak. It's always hard seeing a win streak end, but it's always an opportunity to get an even bigger and better one in the future.
Yeah, well, I want to go back now just to talk about the Cardinals for a second. You had mentioned that they really struggled starting to show. I was actually sitting in the stands with Roberto Hernandez on a day when the Cardinals were really struggling. It was one of those games, and it reminds me of the rewind game we did last night where right out of the box, the Winchester Royals are down 7 runs in the first inning. I know that feeling from my profession that you just, you can't even get out of the blocks and you're already beat up. And, how do you dig yourself out of this hole? There's a great movie out there called The Replacements, and they talk about being in quicksand. So, it's interesting that you see players like Trey Dyer. Trey, what is Trey's last name? You see player Trey Fields. That's who it is. You see players like Trey Fields really standing out for the Front Royal Cardinals, but at the same time, the team's certainly struggling a little bit at this point. Anyway, I guess that's just part of it. I was thinking of Marcia Nagorski, who we did a podcast with recently. She was talking about the major league schedule. In a normal season, you're going to play, 162 games. You're going to lose a third of them. You're going to win a third, and what really matters is what happens with that other third of the games. So, there's still half the season left at this point. So we'll have to see how they do. Before we wish everybody perfect health and a speedy return to the baseball diamond, anything you guys want to add?
Just watch out for Jackson Tate and Jack Murphy in this game and see how they change the tide for the team.
Yeah, so we're trying to celebrate these players. So you heard it here first, Jackson Tate and Jack Murphy. All right, folks, want to say thank you for joining us. Hope you are enjoying our player celebrations here on the 2020 Rewind season. Trying to bring you these things in as concise a manner as we can. Want you to celebrate the action, but don't want you to have to give up your whole night doing it. If there's something else you'd like to see, please let us know. vbleague@isomermedia.com. vbleague@isomermedia.com. We watch that account closely. We'd love to hear from you, and we would love to tailor this to your baseball preferences. Any hockey players, please join in. I could really use a little company. All right? Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. And I almost forgot. Wish you a perfect health and a speedy return to the baseball diamond. We'll see you again.
Hello and welcome to Integrity Home Mortgage Park in Waynesboro, Virginia, in the heart of Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. It's July 1st, and on behalf of the Valley Baseball League and the Waynesboro Generals, welcome to this live stream. Tonight, the Waynesboro Generals, the home team, will host the visiting Harrisonburg Turks from just down the road on 81. And we will have a red-on-red matchup. The Turks wearing their red uniforms, the Generals wearing theirs as well. Played in 22 games so far for the Turks. Swung on and missed. Mercer will set down Budzik for the 23rd time this year. Instantly went with the palms to the sky, wondering what was going on. Skied out towards center field. Going to be a long run for all three involved. It's going to drop. And Joey Kinker will deliver the throw back into second base, but it'll be a single for Cole McNamee. But Bobby Weiss over there in that third base coaching box, very aggressive with his coaching style, likes to run the bases. This one runs inside, and it's going to hit Caston Peter right there on the foot. So 2 runners have now managed to reach base, but put myself a little bit further away from a foul ball. This one struck well out towards left center field. The Turks are going to have another base hit. Around third comes McNamee. He will score. Runner will hold at third base, and it'll be an RBI double by Aaron Levy. This one ripped out towards right field, and that's going to get down for a hit. So Roberts has an RBI single. They will hold Levy at third base, and runners will be at the corners. 2 runs already in this inning. Kobe can work his way on. He's a dangerous man on the base paths. 9 stolen bags to lead the Waynesboro Generals. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. He's also picked up 7 RBI over his last 6 games. Swinging a hot bat, but goes down on strikes here. And both the Gens that have batted in this inning have gone down on strikes. One looking, one swinging. So it'll bring up Eli Quiseno. And Wes Clark is going to swing and miss, and that's something that's tough to do. That'll only be the 6th strikeout of the summer for Wes Clark. Mercer got quite a bit of time for ETSU this year, was one of their top guys. Swung on and missed. And for the 2nd straight inning, Matt Mercer will start things out with a strikeout. Seems to find his way into the lineup later on in ball games. And this one is swung on and missed. He'll go down on strikes from UNC Greensboro. Swung on and missed. Mercer strikes out the side. Does give up 1 hit. No runs in that inning. No errors made by the Generals. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. This one hit well out towards left field. It's chasing back to left fielder. I don't think he knew how hard that ball was hit. Cam Grimes kind of floated to it. He looked like he had it under control, but the ball just kept carrying. And that'll go as a double to start things out for Jack Murphy. This one roped hard up the middle, and it's going to get into center field. They're raving Jack Murphy around third base, and the throw's going to come into third. Worrell is going to get in there, but it was close. And then 2 players get tangled up there. And this one hit well out towards left center field. That's going to split the gaps. 2 runners will score. Cubby Lopez headed for second base. He stops at second. He'll have a 2-out, 2 RBI double to take the lead for the Waynesboro Generals. Had all of his guys fresh down the stretch. Emmanuel Wilder, first pitch swinging, ground ball to Connor Norby, but Wes Clark can't see it. So the throw is going to get away, and I think that's got to go as an E3. This one on the ground to shortstop. Profit will go across the diamond in time for out number 2, but it'll be an RBI ground out for Nick Zona. This one drilled high and deep to right field. That's a no-doubter. Bryson Worrell, you can touch them all. And this one will miss outside for a ball. 0-1. Drilled out towards center field. Jackson Green's not going to be able to get there. So an RBI single ties the ball game, and again, the Gens not able to hold on to a lead. Little check swing, excuse me swing, and that'll be for strike number 3. Christian Dearman making quick work. With a good chance to get out of this inning. 2-strike pitch. Got him looking, strike 3. 3 days from now on the 4th of July. And Jackson Tate hits this one high and deep to left center field. Center fielder looking up. You can touch them all, Jackson Tate. But guys had pop and just weren't really equating to home runs, but they have done so here in the late going. But a strikeout from Christian Dearman starts the top of the 8th inning. Makes the All-Star team for his second straight year, but he's going to go down on strikes here, as they said he did go around on the check swing. Gunnar Peterson will get another breath of life here with 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away in the inning. Cam Grimes has struck out 1 in the inning. Here's the 3-2. Got him looking, strike 3. 0-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Curveball. And here's the pitch from McLean. Swung on and missed. McLean Harris shuts the door with authority. The win takes the Generals to 16-8. The loss drops the Turks to 500. They're now 12-12.